Welcome back. This is Billy Alvaro, your host with Cashing Out. Our company is Easy Sell Property Solutions. We're here today with my cousin and co-host Wayne Hartshart and special guest Les Jassons from A1 Professional Home Inspection Consultants. That name, Les. Damn, that
I
name.
know it's a long one.
That is a long name,
say
Les.
it 3 times real fast.
Damn, I can't get it out once. I'm stuttering. All right, so we are talking about Les Jassons. We're talking about a lot of things that go on when you're selling a property to a non-cash buyer like us, the issues and challenges you're going to face when you sell a property. We've been speaking about it a lot. This is your second time on the show. I don't want to cover what we covered the first time, but today we're talking about hoarder houses, issues in the property, and right now I want to get into water damage and sandy properties. So you mentioned before we went on the break something about, what did you say? I can't even remember.
Yeah. Anchor bolts.
Anchor bolts. That's
Anchor
it.
bolts. What are they? If you people out there don't realize what they are, when you have a foundation, you have to attach the sill plate, which is the bottom part of the home, made out of wood. It has to get bolted down. And
To the foundation.
Yep. And what is forgotten about is that water came up, went into your house, you've changed everything, but they left the anchor bolts, and now the anchor bolts are all rotted out.
So the anchor bolts have salt water. Salt water eroded the anchor bolts, and now the house, what happens? It's going to start to shift.
Yeah, it's not attached to the foundation anymore. Anything can happen. Let's
So
say
major windstorm.
Get flooded again, it could just literally float away.
Yeah, basically.
Imagine.
It's an
Holy
issue.
shit.
It's an issue. So if you have a home that is in a flood area, if you have a home that got water damage, if you have a house that was maybe affected by Sandy, and you don't want to go through the stress and the struggles of putting this thing on the open market and having somebody like Les come in and find out all the major issues that are wrong with the property, give us a call. I'm telling you, the easy way out, I keep saying it, it's the fastest, easiest, most hassle-free way that you can sell a property, bar none. We come in, we're going to do our own inspection, we're going to know what's wrong with the property, we're going to make you a fair, all-cash offer, period. We close on your timeline. It's a simple, easy, fast, hassle-free process. Les, with these water damage houses, what else, when they're selling a property, if there was water damage, should they be concerned about and say, my God, my property, maybe it has an underwater stream in the crawl space or in the basement. What should people be worried about with that? That's a problem.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of problems with the sandy houses, and I'll touch on one real quick with you that I've been running up against. When the areas that got flooded, some of these townships are unmanned, and I've heard stories when the houses got sold that they were flagged to be raised, and the homeowner was never told about it, and they did all the re-renovation, and then held up their sale.
That's a good touch. So we could touch on that. We've been in that predicament before.
We actually, yeah.
Many times.
Yeah.
So, folks, remember, if you were out there, when Sandy happened and you went in, quickly, everybody wanted to renovate the houses and get things done. If you had more than 50% of damage, and that would have been on the actual value of what your home was, if you disclosed that to the town and you never closed out the permits, chances are when you go to sell that house, you're going to find out the town's got you red flagged that your house needs to be lifted. It's a major, major concern for Billy. I mean, we've how many times people have come to us on that?
Yeah,
Great point that Les just touched on.
It's a problem. It's a problem for the home seller. It's a problem for the home buyer. It's a problem for everybody all the way around.
Yeah.
So just realize if you do have one of those homes, you're gonna have to take a massive price cut to sell that house because the issue is never gonna go away and needs to be dealt with by somebody, and that somebody is gonna be the new buyer or it's gonna be you. Somebody has to deal with it. So if you have a property that was red flagged, if you have a property that was water damage, period, and it was in the Sandy era, I would just go down to the town and figure out what the hell's going on, because if you want to sell it, just to know that you might be having issues. If you do, give us a call if there's issues with that property, 631-400-EASY, and I'm telling you, your problems you'll put on our back, and your problems will become our problems. We will take care of it, 100%. We're going to send Les in there and figure out what the heck's going on with that property.
So Les, saying that some of these were red flagged, I mean, some of the costs that people are then, you have to ballpark estimate some of these costs. These sellers are saying, listen, Les, what does it cost me to list my house? How do you even handle that question? Because that's a huge number.
It is 80 plus, 100 plus, really depends, and the people don't want to get involved, and it just causes a problem, holds up people's sales. So that's just like one of the main things I've seen out there that's starting to come about. And in fact, talking about the Sandy homes, the other big thing is now that all the bad cover-up jobs are starting to come out now.
Yeah.
All the shady contractors that were out there that didn't do the right thing, and they're trying to sell now, and it becomes an issue.
Scam artists that were out there. I mean, ripping people off.
It happens. They come out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
And keep in mind that back then there was a shortage of boilers, electric panels, and I've actually gone into houses that were flooded, and I see the boiler is dated 1995, and I actually see a water line in the boiler, and I'm like, you didn't change the boiler. Oh, no, he did some cleanup on it. Well, it got hit with salt water. It's going to rot out.
Yeah, it's shot. It's
Yeah,
water
they don't
corroded everything. I
realize.
mean, these things were underwater.
Yeah, you don't realize.
Oh,
Horrible.
that's disgusting. So
When you see a water line on these items, it got hit.
ugh,
Horrible. Let's flip over for a little bit. Let's talk about water damage in general. Like you mentioned in another segment about underground streams running through properties and water tables. Like we had a couple of properties where the water table would rise. It would actually come right up from underneath the cement. It wasn't a water leak. It was the water table was so high it would come right up through the floor. How do people deal with that?
Yeah, some people, they have some pumps, and sometimes they install these pipes that are in the middle of the basement, which you have on a property.
French drains?
like a French drain.
Yeah, like a French drain, but there's actually a pipe in the middle of the property because when the water comes up, it may push up the basement floor. And if you don't have one of these systems, it could pop it up. And it costs money to put in.
Yeah, they're expensive.
It costs money to put in. And especially when you have houses that are next to like where the parkways are and next to preserve areas, the house and the foundations usually shift towards those areas.
Why is that?
Because of grading and drainage problems. You may have good grading and drainage in your property, but the property in the back doesn't, and it actually affects yours.
So a surrounding property could really affect your property.
Oh, yeah.
Unreal.
Again, what do they do? What do they do? Because if somebody wants to sell their property, they have a problem. What do they do?
Pick up the phone and give us a call.
What's the number?
631-400-EASY, folks. If you want to hit us on the web, easysell411.com.
Said like a true professional.
Yeah, you don't say, huh? A true professional.
Love that. Love that. We are here today with Les Jansen, A1 Professional Home Inspections. We're talking about issues with properties when people are selling. We spoke a lot about hoarder houses, sandy damage, water damage. What's the last topic? We have 4 minutes that you guys want to hit before we end and say goodbye until next time.
Man, we got to say goodbye.
We have to say goodbye until next time. So there are issues out there when people are selling houses. We spoke about cracked foundations. Let's go back to that one for a minute with the foundation issues. What happens if somebody has a foundation that's cracked and a home inspector like you comes into their property? What are the issues that people face?
Well, they got to call a professional in and take a crapshoot on how much it's going to work.
So there's underpinning though, because we have one that you went to yesterday that you're going to go out again today in Elmont, and
Correct.
you said the whole back of the house was sinking down. Like in that situation, that person really has to sell to a cash buyer. They can't sell in the open market.
Yeah, they'll never get a mortgage. No.
They're never going to be able to get a mortgage. It's never going to pass a home inspection. The appraiser is going to bring it up. So in that situation, how bad is that sinking in the back?
Well, it's bad on twofold. I mean, it is sinking. It needs some underpinning, but if a homeowner was to own that house and try to do the repairs itself, as a home inspector going for a normal buyer, I tell the people, look into the future. You may say, I'll live with it, but when you go to sell this 20 years from now, you're going to have a big issue because they're not going to want to listen to you saying, oh, I took care of the problem. Buyers tend to look at the homeowner, you're selling this. How heartily can I listen to, your excuse?
Yeah.
Is it truthful or not?
Yeah, a lot of these buyers, though, even if they want to buy it and they're like, oh, I'll overlook it, their bank generally will not underwrite that file and give them a mortgage because there's a major problem with the foundation.
Correct.
Right? So you could come in, you could assess the situation, you could tell them, listen, this foundation is a major issue. The buyer may say, I still want to go ahead with it. If he's not a cash buyer, somewhere along that line, this deal is going to die. It's going to die in underwriting at the bank. It's going to die with his attorney. Mm-hmm. Somebody's going to end up killing it if it's not you. Because let's face it, they have to get a mortgage. That mortgage company is not going to take a risk on a property that needs that much work unless they're getting a 203K and they're spending an inordinate amount of money to repair that property.
Then they'd have the documentation that they fixed it correctly. But yeah,
Right.
you're right.
It's a problem.
100% right.
It's a major problem. Folks, if you have properties out there that you want to sell, and this is the basis of our whole entire last 2 sessions that we did with Les, we buy problem properties. Any problem, any situation, any area, any condition, we can help you. We have a solution specifically that will fit your needs. Give us a call, 631-400-EASY, or find us online at easysell411.com. We have a program called the Easy Way Out, and when I tell you it is literally the fastest, easiest, most hassle-free way to sell your property, it is. I'm not just saying it. It is fast, it is easy, and it is hassle-free. Just imagine for a minute, you give us a call, 15 minutes of your time over the phone. We send one of our associates out to your home. We come up with a fair all-cash offer. We agree to the terms. We agree to the price. You tell us when you want to close, what your timeline is. You tell us that you need a cash advance. You tell us that you need help moving to your next apartment or your next home anywhere in Suffolk, Nassau, Queens, or Brooklyn. And we do all that for you Lickety split. I said
Lickety
lickety split. 1, 2, 3. Very easy.
Lickety
Simple lickety split. Simple process, simple solution. This is Billy Alvaro. I'm here with our special guest, Les Jansen from A1 Professional Home Inspection Consultants. You can reach him at 516-902-2646. And again, this is Billy Alvaro, Wayne Hartart from Easy Sell Property Solutions online, easysell411.com or by phone 631-400-EASY. We're out.
Take care, guys.